way, I think.
In 200 meters, turn left.
Yeah, it's here. We need to go park our bikes. Hang on a minute. Okay. Over there? Yeah? Where? There's some cycle things on there. Proper ones. Do you want to do that? Yeah. Put yours one side, I'll put mine the other.
Can't.
Why? Well, what I'll do is I'll put the big thing onto the other. I'll do it differently. Hold the bikes while I mine. Okay, we're in the Catacombs under Paris today. Hope it's not where I have to bend all the time. But, the Catacombs of Paris are underground ossuary in Paris, France, which holds the remains of more than 6 million people in a small part of a tunnel network built to consolidate Paris's ancient stone quarries, extending south from the Barrière d'Enfer, Gate of Hell, former city gate. This ossuary was created as part of the effort to eliminate the city's overflowing cemeteries. Preparation work began shortly after 1774. The basement wall collapses around the Holy Innocents Cemetery. It added a sense of urgency to the cemetery eliminating measure, and from 1786, nightly processions of covered wagons transferred remains from most of Paris's cemeteries to a mine shaft opened near the Rue de la Tombe Isieux. The ossuary remained largely forgotten until it became a novelty place for concerts and other private events in the early 19th century. After further renovations and the construction of accesses around the Place d'Enfer Rochereau, it was open to the public visitation from 1874. Since 2013, the Catacombs have numbered among the 14 City of Paris museums managed by Paris Musée. Although the ossuary comprises only a small section of the underground mines of Paris, Parisians currently often refer to the entire tunnel network as the Catacombs. Paris's earliest burial grounds were to the southern outskirts of the Roman era left bank city, in ruins after the Western Roman Empire's 5th century end and the ensuing Frankish invasions. Parisians eventually abandoned this settlement for the marshy right bank. From the 4th century, the first known settlement there was on higher ground around Saint Etienne Church and burial ground, behind the present Hotel de Ville, and urban expansion of the right bank began in earnest after other ecclesiastical landowners filled in the marshlands from the late 10th century. Thus, instead of burying its dead away from inhabited areas as usual, the Paris right bank settlement began with cemeteries near its centre. The most central of these cemeteries, a burial ground around the 5th century Notre de Bois church, became the property of the Saint Opportune parish after the original church was demolished by the 9th century Norman invasions. When it became its own parish associated with the Church of the Saints Innocents, from 1130, this burial ground fell in the land between the present Rue Saint-Denis and the Rue de la Ferronnière. Rue de la Lingerie and the Rue Bergère had become the city's principal cemetery. By the end of the same century, Saints Innocents was neighbour to the principal Parisian marketplace, Les Halles, and already filling to overflowing. To make room for more burials, the long dead were exhumed and their bones packed into the roofs and walls of the charnier galleries built inside the cemetery walls. By the end of the 18th century, the central burial ground was a 2-metre high mound of earth filled with centuries of Parisian dead, plus the remains from the Hotel Dieu Hospital and the morgue. Other Parisian parishes had their own burial grounds, but the conditions in Les Innocents Cemetery were the worst. A series of ineffective decrees limited the use of the cemetery and did little to remedy the situation. It was not until the late 18th century that it was decided to create 3 new large-scale suburban burial grounds on the outskirts of the city, and to condemn all existing parish cemeteries within city limits. Much of the left bank area rests upon the rich Lucian limestone deposits. This stone was built much of the city, but it was extracted in the suburban locations away from any habitation. Because of the post-12th century haphazard mining technique of digging wells down to the deposit and extracting it horizontally until depletion, many of these often illicit mines were uncharted, and when depleted, often abandoned and forgotten. Paris had annexed its suburbs many times over the centuries, and by the 18th century, many of its Ardennists' administrative districts were on included previously mined territories. The undermined state of the left bank was known to the architects as early as the 17th century construction of the Val de Grace Hospital. Most of its building expense were due to its foundations, but a series of mine cave-ins beginning in 1774 with the collapse of a house along the Rue d'Enfer, near today's crossing of the Avenue d'Enfer Rocheux and the Boulevard Saint-Michel, caused King Louis XVI to name a commission to investigate the state of the Parisian underground. This resulted in the creation of the Inspector General de Carrière, Inspector of Mines Service. The need to eliminate the infants gained urgency from May the 31st, 1780, when a basement wall in a property adjoining the cemetery collapsed under the weight of the mass grave behind it. The cemetery was closed to the public, and all intramurs within the city walls burials were forbidden after 1780. The problem of what to do with the remains crowding into Notre cemeteries was still unresolved. Mine consolidations were still occurring, and the underground around the site of the 1777 collapse had initiated the project had already become a series of stone and masonry inspections. Passageways that reinforced the streets above, the mine renovation and cemetery closures were both issues within the jurisdiction of the police prefect. Police Lieutenant General Alexandre Lenoir, who had been directly involved in the creation of a mine inspection service, Lenoir endorsed the idea of moving Parisian dead to the subterranean passageways that were renovated during 1782. After deciding to further renovate the Tour-Monsieur passageway for the future role as an underground septuple, the idea became law in 1785. A well within a walled property above one of the principal subterranean passageways was dug to receive the innocents. Unearthed remains, and the property itself was transformed into a sort of museum for all the headstones, sculptures and other artifacts recuperated from the former cemetery. Beginning from an opening ceremony on the 7th of April the same year, the route between Les Innocents and the Cloche de la Tour-Monsieur became a nightly procession of black cloth-covered wagons carrying the millions of Parisian dead. It would take 2 years to empty the majority of Paris's cemeteries. Cemeteries whose remains were moved to the catacombs include St. Innocents, the largest by far, with about 2 million buried over 600 years of operation. Saint-Étienne-de-Grès, one of the oldest. Madeleine Cemetery, a Renaissance cemetery, used for the victims of the French Revolution, and Notre-Dame-des-Blancs, Montreux. By this way, the skeletal remains of several leaders of the French Revolution, including Maximilien Robespierre and Georges Danton, were transferred to the catacombs. Catacombs in their first year were a disorganized bone repository, but Louis-Antoine Hédédieu, director of the Paris Mine Inspection Service from 1810, had renovations done that would transform the caverns into a visible mausoleum. In addition to directing the stacking of skulls and femurs into the pattern seen in the catacombs today, he used the cemetery decorations he could find, formerly stored on the Tour-Monsieur property. Many had disappeared after the 1789 revolution, to complement the walls of the bones. Also created was a room dedicated to the display of the various minerals found under Paris, and another showing various skeletal deformities found during the catacombs' creation and renovation. He also added monumental tablets and archways bearing ominous warnings, inscriptions, and also added stone tablets bearing descriptions of other comments about the nature of the ossuary and to ensure the safety of eventual visitors. It was walled from the rest of Paris left bank, already extensive tunnel work. Bodies of the dead from the riots in the Place de Grève, the Hotel de Brienne, and Rue Meslay were put in the catacombs on the 28th and 29th of August 1788. The tomb of the Val de Grace Hospital doorkeeper, Philbert Asprey, lost in the catacombs during 1793 and found 11 years later, is located in the catacombs on the spot where his body was found during 1871. Communards killed a group of monarchists there. During World War II, Parisian members of the French resistance used the tunnel system and established a headquarters from where Colonel Roy Tanguay led the insurrection of the liberation of Paris in June 1944. The Nazis established an underground bunker below Lycée Montaigne, a high school in the 6th arrondissement. During 2004, police discovered a fully equipped movie theatre in the area of the catacombs underneath the Trocadero. It was equipped with a giant cinema screen and seats for the audience, projection equipment, film reels of recent thrillers and film noir classics, a fully stocked bar and a complete restaurant with tables and chairs. The group Les Eaux took responsible for the installation. The film, As Above, So Below, released in 2014, was the first production that secured permission from the French government to film in the catacombs. They aimed to use no alterations to the environment, with the exception of a piano and a car, which were hauled into the catacombs and set on fire. During 2015, Airbnb paid €350,000 as part of a publicity stunt, offering customers the chance to stay overnight in the catacombs. And in August 2017, thieves broke into a cellar from the catacombs and stole more than €250,000 worth of wine. Well, we left the Catacombs now. It's quite good, that. It was quite cool under there. Yeah, we're heading for the Pantheon now. We're going to have a look round there, and then onto the Seine. We're going to look at Louvre and a couple of other things that are maybe there. Excuse me, that was my dinner. And we had snappy days for dinner.
Take the next left.
And as usual, it gets bloody complicated.
Now turn left onto Avenue de l'Observatoire. Follow this way for 300 yards. In 160 yards, go straight and continue on Boulevard San Michel. Then keep right. Now go straight, then keep right.
What? Hey? You what?
Now keep right. Follow this way for 650 yards.
There's a bit of a burst pipe. The French.
In 170 yards, turn right and continue on Rue Royer Collard. Then in 250 yards, go straight. Roya Collard. Then in 70 yards go straight. In 40 yards at the intersection, go straight onto Rue Roya Collard. At this intersection, go straight onto Rue Roya Collard. In 60 yards, turn right onto Par. In 20 yards, turn right onto Par.
Pardon? Where? Oh yeah.
You may have missed the turning. Take a look at the map. Now turn left onto Rue Saint-Blanc.
Get off here, Christine. Just get off. It's easier. Uh-huh. Well, then. Doesn't matter. We're now at the Pantheon. We're going to take a look around inside of here, and then we'll be moving on to more famous places like Notre Dame, Louvre, that kind of thing. But this is the Pantheon. We're going to take a look inside here. Now we're inside the Pantheon, which wow, it's quite a spectacular place. You can get up quite close. You can't. Yes, you can. In 507, following his conversion to Christianity, King Clovis founded the first basilica intended to house his tomb and that of his wife Clotilde.
Really.
The pious Genevieve, who had protected Paris against the barbarians, was also buried there in 512. A chapter of Verifiens was soon entrusted with the task of maintaining the relics of the patron saint of Paris.
Okay. Need to find Christine because she does her own thing. Yeah, quite stunning pictures and ceiling. There's some art, I presume is what it is. Not really sure what it means. But the paintings are really quite spectacular. Terrific. It's quite an amazing building, I must admit. I do recognise that, that's Joan of Arc. I'm presuming that's Joan of Arc as well. Joan of Arc. And I'm presuming that's where she came from. Paintings are truly brilliant. It is a very spectacular building. A great place to come and have a lesson. Really cool, that. Nice to see kids engaged in what they're doing. The building is really good. Really good. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. And then the pendulum in the middle. I've seen one of these before. One from the centre of the ceiling. I saw a similar type thing in Estonia, where it was just touching the sand, making patterns in the sand. I'm not really sure if it is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be giving us the correct time. So.
Niet, dat kan echt. Dat is echt gewoon.
That worked out to be about 3:30. I'm going to check that now. I can tell you that I said about 3:30, it was 3:25, which wasn't too far away. Good that. Good.
The views over Paris from here are pretty spectacular, as is the building. There you can see. So a bit of a view over Paris. Looking from the top of the Pantheon.
Siete e rimarrete dei poveri comunisti!
There's a total of 203 steps to get up here onto the top. So you can have a little bit of a walk around from where the dome is. Fantastic. Nice little walk along the roof. It's really good to have these buildings where you can actually see across the city. There's a dome where I've just been. It's a model of the pantheon. Okay, we're going to have a look in the crypt now. And this is the crypt. We're down in the crypt, so underneath this basilica. Under here are entombed some of France's greatest people. So people such as I think Louis Pasteur might be down here. Braille is down here. Alexander Dumas, who wrote The Three Musketeers and The Man in the Iron Mask. They're down here, along with other great French scientists, philosophers, artists, such like. There are also plenty of spare places for future generations of French brilliance. Done that. Rousseau.
think the pantheon, the crypts are where the French bury their great people, hence Louis Braille, Alexander Dumas, the two that I cannot think of. And there are some empty places for future generations of French brilliance. So, it's a basilica. We're going to have a look in this church now, if we can get in, which is highly unlikely. This is one of the few places where you actually do get a decent push bike park. So we're off to take a look inside this church, see what it has to offer, and then it's down to the Seine for Notre Dame, which I'm sure you've just seen on the video is in a bit of a mess. It's a bit burnt, isn't it? A bit charred.
It's got scaffolding around it.
Yeah.
Is that all then?
So, not the building it used to be. got to scoot down to the front.
In 40 yards, take a slide right onto Pont Saint-Michel. Then in 70 yards, turn right onto Quai du Marché Neuf, Maurice Grimaud. In 60 yards at the intersection, turn right onto Quai du Marché Neuf, Maurice Grimaud. At this intersection, turn right onto Quai du Marché Neuf, Maurice Grimaud.
Hey? Come on, man. What? You've done what?
Follow this way for 200 yards.
Bloody Christine thought a light had dropped off my bike, so she stopped to pick it up, got nothing to do with me. Then we stopped at some lights, and she's opening me bloody bag to put things off, and I'm riding off.
Next, go straight.
Anyway,
then in 140 yards, take
coming
a
up in
slide
front
right onto Park.
is Notre Dame.
Now go straight. Then in 30 yards, take a slide right onto Park.
Might as well get off here and push it across, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch out. Go that way. Well, about 5 or 6 years ago, there was a massive fire here, and it's not been open since. With untold damage to it, so it's just a short stop for us. Look, a couple of pictures, and then on our way.
In 20 yards, take a slight right onto path. Follow this way for 100 yards. You may have missed the turning. In 25 yards at the intersection, go straight onto Parvis Notre Dame, place Jean Paul II. You may have missed the turning. Take a look at the map. You may have missed the turning. Take a look at the map.
There we are. That's the famous Notre Dame. Not sure what the seats are all for. It's a shame, because I bet it was quite a building, and they've been spent 5 years so far trying to restore it. Just goes to show you some of the building work that's going on. Apparently a lot of the statues that are around the top had all been taken off for restoration just a few days before, so I guess it was pretty totaled. Anyway, that's the same, and in both ways. Well, there's the saint. See if we get the people to wave. No, they're all miserable froggies. Oh, there you go. She must have been English. It's nice, that. It's a shame with Notre Dame, there's not a lot to see, to be fair. Christy went to go down into the crypt, but it was shut. We're off St Jacques Tower, which is that building up there, and then I think there's Joan of Arc's monument, and I think we're not far off done then, I think. And this is St Jacques Tower. I was pleased to know, Christine tells me, that this is only open Friday, Saturdays and Sundays to walk up to the top. So, there's a bonus really, considering today is Tuesday, I think. So, well pleased about that. But yeah, this is St Jacques Tower. Thought there were no push bikes.
In 160 yards, take a slight left and continue on Rue Perot. Then in 300 yards, take a slight left onto Rue de Lamiro de Coligny. Now take a slight left. Then in 120 yards, take a slight left onto Rue de Lamiro de Coligny. this intersection, take a slight left onto Rue de l'Amiral de Coligny. In 90 yards, take a sharp rig and continue on path. Then in 170 yards, make a U-turn onto path.
Oh, I can't figure out what the bloody I was supposed to be doing. I think we go. Can't make out whether we go left or right. Or that way. Come on, wait.
In 40 yards, take a sharp right onto path. In 25 yards, take a sharp right onto path. Originally planned tour. Take a look at the map and decide on an alternative. The tour is 100 yards behind you.
Can't see the map, so I have to get on this gravel so I can have a look at it. It's telling me we're all fucked up.
You left the originally planned tour. Take a look at the map and decide on an alternative. At this intersection, make a U-turn onto Rue de l'Amiral de Coligny.
I don't know what it is, but there's supposed to be something here.
At this intersection, make a U-turn onto Rue de l'Amiral de Coligny.
Or we've passed it, or something here. then? Well, I don't understand what I want the building. What is it?
Louvre. This is the Louvre.
Oh yeah. Wow. Not sure what this is, but it's pretty impressive. Fantastic. Pardon? Okay. Not sure what this building is, but wow, it's pretty stunning. We're heading for the Louvre, which I can see through that archway. And maybe this was some sort of a palace or something. Oh, it's quite fantastic. It's quite amazing. It's a shame the fountains aren't working. I guess under some sort of construction work. But the Louvre is through there. Yeah, pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's an exact replica in size. I'd say it might be an exact replica to scale. So it's an exact replica to scale. There's a large pyramid and the 3 smaller pyramids, and then we're surrounded by these fantastic buildings. So I'll try and give you a perspective of them. Just taking my camera off the bike. There you go. So maybe they're not the exact same size, but a scale of, there's 4 pyramids at Giza. Everybody seems to do the same pose, like putting the finger on the top of it or doing stuff like that, which, to be quite honest, is what everybody does. Because everybody does it. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. That's me. Anyway, what do I know? Everybody else seems to want to do them. A bit like Pisa, where they're trying to push it, hold it up. It's, you know, it's just something everybody does. It's not that big. There you go, everybody's recording now, yeah. Everybody does the same picture. There they are. That's the Louvre. So all this building around here, all part of here, is all part of the museum. just I'll show you inside of one. Just drop the bike off and just show you inside. So it's actually closed today, but that would be the inside. The loop, I must admit, it's a lot smaller than what I thought it was. I did originally think that that was supposed to be the same height as the pyramids of Giza. Actually, it's a scale. There's 4 pyramids at Giza, and this must be a scale on the distance that they are apart and the height of them, because pyramids of Giza are just massive. Beautiful, nice and quiet here. Ready? Yeah. This one, ready? I know they've got it all sorted for the bikes here,
In
but
70
oh my
yards at the
god,
intersection, go
this
straight
is
onto
just
Route
sheer
Ravoni.
lunacy.
Follow this way for 300
Absolute
yards.
lunacy.
At this intersection, go straight onto Route Ravoni. In 100 yards, go straight and continue on Place des Pyramides. Then in 200 yards, turn right onto Route Ravoni. In 50 yards, go straight. Then in 100 yards, turn right onto Route Ravoni. Now turn right onto Route Ravoni. Follow this way for 700 yards.
And you said there weren't many bikes. Hey? Just absolute lunacy.
In 150 yards, take a slight left and continue on Place de la Concorde. Then in 250 yards, take a slight right onto Place de la Concorde.
Hey?
In
Yeah.
110 yards, take a slight
No, I'm
left and
struggling.
continue on
I
Place
prefer
de la
it when there's
Concorde.
hardly any.
Then in 200 yards, take a slight right onto Place de la Concorde.
See, now it's just so
In 50
complicated.
yards, take a slight left onto Place de la Concorde. Then in 100 yards, take a slight right onto Place de la Concorde. Now take a slight right, then turn right. Take the next right, then in 100 yards go straight. Now turn right, then in 30 yards go straight.
I don't know, Christine, I'm just all fucking lost. It's something you've got on your plaster Concorde, I think. Yeah, it's on your map. I'm just turning off. We're at this obelisk needle. I think it shows you how they think they put them up. They're like the one in London, Cleopatra's Needle. I don't think this is what we actually came for. I have a sneaky feeling. I'm just going to go and have a look at this one. We'd come for is oh, that's a fountain. Well, not sure where the Joan of Arc one is. I think we might have missed it. Just noticed that there you go. How cool is that? I think we've got a circle to the arc again, and then we go home from there, I think. So it's like a central point. Eiffel Tower's over there. We're going to cycle this in a second. This is the Champs-Élysées, all the way up to the Arc de Triomphe, and then straight round and up past it that way. Well, that's the plan anyway. I don't need to angle it up. You ready? Are you ready? So, this is the Champs-Élysées. I'm going to try and do this in rush hour. How crazy is that? Probably end up walking a fair bit of it, I think. With a minute, we're in the cycle lane. So, not too bad. You alright, Christine? Alright, Christine. 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 Do what everybody else does on the bike, just cut round what everybody else seems to do.
Now take the slight right. Follow this way for 1 mile.
You alright, Christine? Lost Christine. Right. Now, I think Christine nearly got took out by a bus. Tell you what, it looks bloody flat, this chandelier, but I can tell you, it's a steady climb. Not much, but it's enough to make you work. You have to stay tucked in on the right. tell you what, it's bloody hot. And it's hard work, isn't it? Steady incline. Then I'll check it out of here.
Now continue straight on Tunnel de Notre.
That's me done. We think we've found, don't know if you call it a shortcut, which takes us under the Arc de Triomphe. We're going to give it a go. You ready? So away we go. Let's see what happens. Admit, I think some of them are worse cycling. The worst at cycling than they are at bloody driving. You get a bit of power to get me up the hill. There we go, now coast up it. Hey? That's where we went the other day, I think. Well, you can do if you want. Ready? You ready? Yeah. so
In
close.
170 yards, go straight
Madness.
and continue on cycleway. Then in 250 yards, turn left onto cycleway.
Like that. I'm going down here. Same as what this woman's just done.
In 90 yards, go straight and continue on cycleway. Then in 180 yards, turn left onto cycleway.
It's getting a bit bloody ridiculous on there at the minute. So,
Now go straight. Then in 90 yards, turn left onto cycleway.
doesn't hurt so much if you're to pedestrian. Where we go. I'm off this way and then round. I think if we go this way and then underneath that over there, alright?
In 50 yards, turn left and continue on cycleway. The tour is big. In 20 yards, turn right onto Rue du Débarcadère. You may have missed the turning. Take a look at the map.
I'm going to be honest, I have not got a bloody Scooby-Doo where we're
You
going
left the
now.
originally planned tour. Take a look at the map and decide on an alternative. The tour is 120 yards behind you.
This is, we need to be going that way. So we'll walk a bit. This is just crazy. The map's going bloody mental. Just keeps spinning upside down.
You left the originally planned tour. Take a look at the map and decide on an alternative.
Get over here and then we'll have to stop and have a look, so I think we want to be over there. If you live here and you do it all the time, you don't worry about it, do you?
the originally planned tour. Take a look at the map and decide on an alternative.
When we get out of all this, just other thing, we'll pull up on the right so we can get across. Is to be over that side a lot earlier, but because of all the construction work you can't get over, and that'll be why Google Maps.
In 60 yards go straight onto Avenue de Neuilly.
Yeah, so commute. Can't do either.
In 40 yards go straight onto Avenue de Neuilly.
Absolutely ridiculous. Rush hour to come home. Hey? You behind there? Yeah, but you can put your foot on here.
In 30 yards continue straight on Avenue de Neuilly. Take a slide left onto cycleway. In 40 yards take a slide left onto cycleway. Then in 90 yards turn left onto Rue Joseph A. Marie Hacken.
Well, from what I can gather with this, we'll just keep going straight on and then we'll turn right.
Well, Google Maps.
Yeah. Okay. So, get over into the cycle lane.
right onto Rue Montrose, then turn right onto Rue du Midi.
You're having a laugh. This is fucking up now. Right over there. That's where we've got to get. The best thing we're going to have to do is get off and walk Christine, because this is just, we're never going to cycle to get across that.
Oh, that's what I've got for it.
We'll have to go back and then go to the zebra crossing.
You don't go to the fence then?
No. Oh, not again.
Oh.
Everything's going
Turn your
wrong
camera off
on
now
that.
while you're doing that.
All right.
Slide left onto Allée de Longchamp, N185.
I could tell you, it didn't matter which GPS we were using there, they were just spinning. It would not pick up a signal. Oh, Christ.
In 100 meters, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Allée de Longchamp, N185.
Okay. Thank God for that. That was awful. I could tell you, our GPS, it didn't matter if I used Google Maps, Komoot, everything we had, it was just going crazy.
Exit the roundabout onto Allée de Longchamp. Continue on N185 for 1.5 kilometers.
All right, Christine. Happier? said, it's not far now. Have we got to go down Prosy Alley? And I said, yeah, I think so. So, there's something for you to look forward to again on this video, Dad. Although Christine thinks it might be a bit too early, but I don't know. It's call it early, it's about 7 o'clock I think, something like that. Still there? Well, I must admit I am enjoying the cycling. Oh yeah, Paris is hard work. I mean, proper hard work. But, I suppose it is what it is. Good exercise for me. Christine gets to exercise. Saves my feet a fair bit and saves us a fair bit of money. Bloody stupid of them.
In 200 metres, slide left to stay on Allée de Longchamp, N185.
Just slow down and wait for Christine because no doubt she'll have had to stop. Oh, you're there. That was a bit stupid of them, wasn't it? Which way round did you go round them? Same as me? Did you go around the same side as me? Did you go round them the same side as me? You know, you just get fucking past him, tossers. What were they thinking? Bad language again. I'm sorry, Mum.
Continue on N185 for 1 kilometre.
I know you didn't know I knew words like what I've used this holiday, but I've done my best. Picked it off. I picked all that this language up. Picked it all up off my dad when he used to take us in the lorry. He used to swear then. That's where I used to hear it from. Yeah, he jumped a bit, didn't he? Alright. I think they were all prostitutes that were waiting there. That we saw, Christine. I think they were prostitutes as well that were waiting back there. Good stay.
In 150 meters, turn right.
It says there's a right turn here. I'll be damned if I can see it.
Turn right.
I'll go slow. Oh, here it is. It's here. There's Zeverlift blocking. This is where you take your life into your hands. No. You ready? Well, we're going to have to go sooner or later. There we go.
In 200 meters, turn right onto Route de Sèvres-en-Neuilly.
So, we actually missed some of these turns last time. I'm going to try and see if I can get them this time. Christy? You alright?
Turn right onto Route de Sèvres-en-Neuilly, then slide left onto Route des Moulins.
Alright. Ow, my back. Drop right on my back, that. Okay. You ready? Come on then.
In 200 meters, turn
I've
right
not
onto
seen any,
Chemin
have
de
we?
Sirène à Bagatelle. Turn right onto Chemin de Sirène à Bagatelle.
Oh, taxis there. Something going on.
In 300 meters, turn left onto Allée du Bourg de l'Or, D1.
Alright.
Turn left onto Allée du Bord de l'Or,
Good
D1,
test
then
for this,
turn right.
Christine. Through here. Duck down, Stephen. Duck down, Stephen. You alright, Christine? You alright? There's a lot of
Turn
flies
right, then
around
turn
here,
right.
and you can't get Christine to answer you properly. She just goes, She's got one flying in her mouth. So,
In 100 meters, turn right.
anyway, back to the campsite.